it looks like we are live. Let me just double check here on my Facebook. I don't know. I clicked it. It said live, and it says it's streaming,
Ah,
but
cool. Let me
I don't
here.
know.
Let me check on mine. Hold
Let's
on.
check. Let's just check
Let's
because
just
I did have
let's,
to reconnect Facebook actually when I first started. Yeah,
yeah.
no, we're
It
live.
says we're
We are
live.
live.
What's up, everyone? What's up? We're
Yeah, and there's
trying
actually
this.
live captions running. Wow, there's like a lot of things, really cool things happening here.
Oh, there's actually captions going.
I see captions. I'm checking my phone and I see captions coming on
Wow,
live as I'm talking.
that is so cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. This is all right. Well, hi everyone. This is a really cool new tool that Liana discovered that we are going to try using.
Yeah.
This Restream Studio.
We thought we would take a we weren't on Clubhouse as much, so we thought we would try something new because we're marketers. We want to keep testing. We thought we'd come over here. I know it's been a hot minute since we've kind of done one of these. And by the way, I can invite people to join us here on the stream. And
Okay.
so hopefully while this is starting to get out into the notifications, let us
Yeah.
know. And if you want to come on, I can drop a link in the comments and invite you in if you want
That
to
would be
join us.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, next
Or just
time,
let
yeah,
us
we
know in
can
the
always
comments.
that I love that how we can bring people in and chat with them. That's kind of cool. And look,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest, guys. I'm gonna make a little confession here. Leon and I were just talking about this. I was really big on Clubhouse. I mean, like big on it, like not literally big on it, but like I thought it was important. I thought it was something that was really cool. And lately, it's been dying. And so it's been a little frustrating when I go on. I don't necessarily want to. Well, I haven't been on in a while, but when we've been doing rooms have kind of gotten smaller. So we're going to really watch and see what happens when Android gets on it. I mean, my thought right now with Clubhouse is that once Android gets even when Android gets on with Facebook now launching their version and other stuff happening, I think it might I think they're going to kind of eat it up. I think that, Facebook will kind of take over it if they do, or I don't know.
Well,
It's just different for marketing. It's just, I
mhm.
don't know. It has a different vibe right now.
Yeah. And I'm also anxious to see what happens when Facebook, rolls out their version of audio, which looked really interesting to me. And I was letting Jordan know that I was also testing out Twitter Spaces. So I do like the interface. It's just that I don't think that people really see it as quickly as they did in Clubhouse. So you still have to
Hmm.
invite people to it. But I do like Twitter Spaces actually. So I re-downloaded Twitter onto my phone and because I've got a bunch of different accounts, and I've like 10, 20,000 followers, right? But so you can now do spaces if you have more than 600 followers. And
Oh,
so
it's with
yeah.
it. Okay. But
Mhm.
what do you like more about it? Like
They
what?
have live, so they have captions. You can actually turn on live captions as well.
Okay.
They actually have, you can have up to 10 speakers, and you can tell like who's speaker, who's the audience, and you can also see a list of people if you've removed them. It also comes with sound effects. I'm not sure how to use that yet,
Hmm.
but it looks cool. And then the other thing I noticed about Twitter is when you post a tweet, you can now also post like an audio clip as well. Like that's 2
Hmm.
minutes and 20 seconds. So it's almost like a little podcast and they have a stories. Like I haven't been in it in a while. So I was sort of surprised how much they've evolved. And I've been
Yeah.
hearing some good things about Twitter Spaces, but it looks like it depends who you're following. And I think you just really have to get it out there. Like it's more work to promote it. I think that's all. We were just spoiled in Clubhouse.
Yeah, and I guess when I look at okay, the overall messaging or the overall reason why I liked Clubhouse initially was a lot of it was building those connections. Like we met so many cool people
Mhm.
and I now have those relationships. And I think that was such a powerful thing to see. And but with what this throws this throws me off, Liana, when it focuses just on me. I don't like that.
I'm just trying to moderate and just make it interesting for
I
people.
know, but I'd rather see you, so I feel like I'm talking to someone. Uh, But
We're hanging
no,
on your every word, Jordan.
oh no, I don't like that. But yeah, for me, it looks like that was building relationships. That was a really cool thing. Met a lot of really cool people with it. Did some neat stuff with that. We also gained some business from it, which was great. So it was definitely was not a waste of time for us.
No.
But when I look at where the future is and where things are going, I do think having the ability to record is important, and then being able to use that to on all the other channels.
Mhm.
And that's where I feel like sometimes we spent hours on there doing these sessions with different people, and um, I sometimes I wish we had some of that material still available, because there was some great content that was shared.
Amazing. Yeah. I still feel like it was like a conference, and conferences just don't go
Yeah,
on forever. I just feel like it was a great conference. And I was in that mode too, where I was just, you're there all day and all night. And nobody could have kept that up. Like there's no way we could have all
no,
kept that up. Right. So,
it was crazy though. Yeah, back in
yeah.
December, like, and of course with the pandemic and everything, I think it was kind of the perfect storm. Like everyone got involved
Mhm,
with it. It was just really cool.
mhm.
But
Yeah.
it's true. Things have kind of died down, and it's just different. But when
Mhm.
Android comes on, we'll see if it
Yeah,
improves.
we'll see. And also, we don't know. My theory too is that people are actually just going outside as things open up more. So how much of it was just like we're literally just stuck, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing to do.
that's
So,
right. Well,
yeah.
I keep looking at. I try to look at the overall purpose of Clubhouse and just think, okay, that's what I'm still debating about. Is it Clubhouse was very effective for building relationships, like
Mhm.
meeting new people and building relationships, and we like again a lot of really cool people. So I'm
Yes.
wondering, is it more of a relationship tool to get in and to meet people and to kind of expand your network? And in addition to that, then you can do other things with it. But I just don't think that but doing live shows on there, um, I don't know. I just don't know if it's as effective anymore. But
Yeah.
we're gonna find out. We'll find
Mhm.
out.
Definitely. We're going to
So
find out.
Liana, I
Yes.
wanted to talk briefly about iOS 14,
Mhm.
14.5, and talk and get your thoughts if there's anything that you've been seeing lately. But I think what I just read in an article today is that and the thing, some people were saying, oh, maybe only 70% of the people will adopt it. But right now, they're showing 96% of the people in the US are opting in.
Okay, so I'm always skeptical of numbers because so what's that number of people who've actually upgraded? It's kind of like when you send out an email to 100 people on your list, you're like, yeah, I got 80% open rate, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. So,
Yeah.
because I don't know. Like, I actually usually wait before I upgrade to see if it's worth it or if there's any problems. But because of this, I upgraded like as soon as I heard that it came out and nothing happened. It wasn't until yesterday that I started getting the notification. But I'm just wondering how many people have actually upgraded as well. You know.
Well, yeah, and iOS has I mean, that you're right. There's still people that haven't upgraded yet. iOS has a very high upgrade. People, I mean, not like Android, where people they don't
Mhm,
upgrade as much.
mhm,
But on iOS, they do. They upgrade. But it can take some time. So the
yeah,
early signs are this. But here's what threw me off, though, and this is what was kind of crazy and I didn't notice until
mhm,
when I was talking to D about this was if you've already had limit app tracking built, turned on in there,
mhm.
by default, iOS will automatically opt you out of everything going forward.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you
Default.
have to. Mhm,
So like when I went in, I was like, why am I not seeing any prompts or anything like that?
mhm.
And then I looked and I saw that it was turned off automatically on mine.
Yeah,
And so a lot of people are going to have that automatically turned off.
yeah,
So that means it's saying no to everything. It's not letting anyone track.
yeah. I think it's good.
And
I think it's an
that's gonna be
education thing, right? Like, so there's that, like educating people. I mean, we have to do that. I think brands need to do that as well, like educate people on what you need to do. And then also, I was reading again, who people are not marketers think that the message means I'm turning off all ads.
yeah,
They
yeah,
really don't understand what it is. So I think that has to get, because when we were in Clubhouse and talking to, IAB, right? Angela from
yeah,
IAB, she was talking about education is key. And I think that's part of it is the consumers don't really understand the impact of it. So they just like click on it and then they just don't think about it. But I think a lot of them thought that like this is turning off ads for me.
Yeah, which is that's which is worse, right? Like they're gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna get ads anymore.
Yeah.
But if they read the prompt and when you receive the prompt, you want to allow this to track. People are gonna say no. I mean, they're
No,
just
yeah.
not. They're not. They're just going to.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So I think the impact is going to be. I mean, we're going to see the majority of people are going to opt out
Yeah.
of it.
Now, interestingly enough, though, like when it first rolled out, I really wasn't seeing a lot of grumbling about Facebook, and I didn't see big campaigns were not tanking and stuff like that. I did immediately see people complaining about YouTube ads, though, and
Hmm.
seeing a negative impact on YouTube. So I thought that was it. And then some media buyers are complaining to me that, Google didn't really say anything about any of the changes that they're rolling out now, like not allowing GCLID, and
Yeah.
things like that. Whereas, Facebook has just been very vocal about it and we're able to prepare. And some Google people were telling me like they just feel like they were blindsided because it's been silent from Google.
Hmm.
So it's
That's
been
it. Yeah,
frustrating.
that's really interesting. Yeah, the impact. I think overall, and see, we haven't seen as much of an impact on the open web, with
Mhm.
native and stuff yet. We haven't seen. We haven't. I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed much.
Yeah.
So nothing yet. But again, as it continues to roll out, we become more familiar with it.
Yeah.
We'll find out. The big thing I think where people, because what I'm noticing on Facebook is that the ads I'm seeing on Facebook now or Instagram they seem to be they're ads based on my engagement with other stuff,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Because when I notice though, I am seeing, because I'm testing it out, I am seeing less relevant ads
Mhm.
that are on my feed now,
Mhm.
but except for those where I've previously engaged, because that's where I think, because if you've engaged with stuff, Facebook can then still use that data.
Mhm.
I believe, right,
Yeah.
Leona? Is that?
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
From what we understand, and I wish Matt was here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can message him to come on, but what I've noticed is, yeah, within, and like you were saying, calling it the walled garden, it seems that you can track within there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I allow everything to track. So I have been getting retargeted from sites like, your brother works at Precipio. So I like went on there and then I got retargeted with their ad. And I
Okay.
knew that was from the visit to the page. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was good to see that was happening. But I think right now, I think the biggest impact is reporting. And I'm trying to educate clients and people about that more right now, about reporting. Like, don't rely on the Google interface or Facebook or anything like that. Use it to compare, and then
Yeah.
actually use your actual data to compare about the numbers, because it's all going to be off by a little bit, but now it's off by more than,
Well, what
what it
I'm
used to
curious,
be.
yeah, and what I'm curious to see, Leona, is how the algorithms continue to do your lookalike audiences.
Mhm.
Once people are opting out, because we're not going to see an immediate. I mean, the audiences are built; they're in there. But for new campaigns, new ad groups that you get going,
Mhm.
trying to use that kind of data, that's what I'm curious to see performance.
Yeah, definitely,
If they're
definitely.
able to still perform based
Yeah.
on the new limitations.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I think for everything, there's always somebody who puts their hand up and says it's working for them. There's always the exception. But like from what I mean, lookalikes in Facebook tend to go up and down in any event. So I don't know if there's a correlation yet.
Yeah.
Lookalikes, just for the last couple months, just for me, lookalikes have not worked out that well. It's just in general. So it hasn't been a big part. But some people tell me like they just build everything on lookalikes. So I don't know. It's hard to draw these correlations to things, in terms of what's happening.
Yeah. So we should
Yeah.
see, yeah, we should start to see an impact.
Mhm.
Um, probably in excuse me, a few weeks.
But I'm really pushing video. I'm pushing any type of conversions that you can keep inside of Facebook. Like I posted a couple days ago how I started going back more into messenger ads, because you've got that send to message conversion. Again, that's not using custom conversion based on a pixel on a web page. And video views. So I'm
Hmm.
really just trying to keep building audiences that way. Hopefully just to kind of, just keep building up something that you can retarget in some way within the platform. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, and the changes within Verizon. And by the way, for people who know, Verizon basically just sold off Yahoo now. So I guess I have to go, and they're going to change the name back to Yahoo. Like they've
Yeah.
had.
Well, for people, because I don't think people really understand what the impact of that was. Because when I saw the article, I went to you right away. I was like, Jordan, what's up with this? Right?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
exactly happened?
I'm still waiting to hear from I actually haven't reached out to my account reps to kind of get an idea of like why this occurred and see how much they know.
Mhm.
But it's something that we just it's Yahoo's been it's been sold around over the last 4 years multiple
Mhm.
times.
Mhm.
And you had Oath and you had Verizon, and now it's going to go back to being called Yahoo. And so it looks like from what I read in the press release too, that they're going to maintain the relationship with Verizon. So a lot of the data segments and things that when they had kind of, merge those together will stay the same. Um, but it's there. I don't know for certain. I'm not sure why this continues to happen,
Mhm.
but we're going to be able to call, we're just going to have to, we're going to start calling it Yahoo. So that's kind
Yeah,
of it. Looks
definitely.
like we have some questions that have come in.
Yeah.
That's so cool. You can put the question right there in the video. Love it.
Yeah. So yeah, Drew was saying he just kind of proved our theory, right? He was saying that he clicked on something inside of Facebook and then almost immediately started getting retargeted. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
I like how Drew had to like justify what that was. So okay, got it, Drew. You don't have to tell us exactly what you clicked on. It's okay. We got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, Drew. Yeah, I'm gonna be. Yeah, the retargeting is going to be interesting, and the kind of ads that we're going to see. I think Facebook is going to continue to. They're going to push hard that engagement, those engagement type of
Yeah. Yeah.
ads, right?
So, but I think
For
like with in terms of like working in an omni, like how do you see the impact with omni channel where there's
yeah,
like
that's a real.
more walls set up, right?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I know we've talked a lot about using, trying to look at some different tools. I mean, you can Google Analytics to try to get an idea overall of how things are performing, and then allowing each channel to continue to optimize towards their KPIs, and then trying to have an overall holistic view of
Hmm.
the process. I
Yeah.
think I think people will continue to. Um, I, the impact of these changes from an omni-channel marketing standpoint, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see a lot more, a lot of additional changes happen,
Hmm.
and if it, what's going to make sense going forward. But I think it's going to come back to just kind of old school methods
Yep.
of just saying, hey, look, we spent X amount of dollars this month, right?
Hmm.
And then we brought in this much revenue.
Yeah.
I mean, for
And
example, we have a client. Oh, sorry, we have a client right now that we're running traffic for, and we're picking up a lot of conversions that they're not seeing. They're not seeing because we're looking at app conversions as well, cross device conversions,
mhm,
different stuff that they're not going to pick up in their system in Google Analytics. You just won't
mhm,
see it.
mhm,
So what we work with them on is saying, look at the overall picture. How much, across your channels, how much was spent, how much revenue came in, and then we'll just continue to optimize
mhm.
based on our target CPAs,
Yeah.
or our target ROAS.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we have to do it. I think it's going to continue to be. I think it's going to become more and more important to look at marketing like that in the future.
And I think also looking at cause and effect, like we were just speaking at AdWorld this week as well, right? And one thing that we emphasized was like not like you were saying, like don't just focus on the individual KPIs for that channel. And we had a couple people in the chat after our presentation where they kept kind of focusing on that. I noticed that, right?
Yeah,
Say
they
they
did.
really focused on like, well, what do you do when one channel is not performing? And we just kept saying it's not about that. You got to see how it affects it. And so I think that a lot of our KPI is going to go more towards how do we get people to search for the brand terms, in
Mm-hmm.
Google, because I think we often find that the Google branding search is maybe where they buy. So then we're going to say, okay, what can we do with all these other channels to increase brand search? I mean, that's just
That's
how I
right.
think about it. And I'm not as worried about, oh, like I'm not getting direct conversions from TikTok or Twitter or Facebook, but we are increasing the brand search, which is increasing sales. So
That's
like you
right.
said, overall, we're winning.
I think that's absolutely correct. I mean, I agree 100%, Liana. Like that's what they have to see. We have to look at that.
Mhm,
They've got to look at the bottom of funnel type of, conversions that are coming in. Are they seeing more, like you said, brand searches?
mhm.
But you have to fill the funnel.
Yeah,
That's something we've talked about quite a bit. You have to get that top of funnel traffic in.
yeah.
And too many people are so focused on bottom of funnel that because they're like, oh, okay, well, look, I'm getting a great CPA right here.
Mhm,
And they neglect the traffic that's coming in. So
mhm,
you have to be able to focus on all that. You've got to be able to get your top of funnel traffic coming in. We use native a lot for top of funnel, and you're going to get conversions that will come from it. Conversions
mhm,
will happen from your top of funnel traffic.
mhm,
But as we continue to drive, as you're driving traffic, you look at your blended CPA. And I think, and so that's going to be the key, it's imbalancing it. If your top of funnel traffic CPA, if it starts getting out of control and going up too high, but your bottom of funnel is not making up the difference, then you obviously have to make adjustments.
mhm.
It's fine tuning all the different traffic sources to get to where you need to be.
Mhm.
But not just saying, oh, top of funnel, our target CPA is $60, but top of funnel is $90. We got to kill off top of funnel traffic. Look at your bottom of funnel, and you just continue to blend them and work together to get where you need to be.
Yeah. And I think that it's also going to be good for content marketers and copywriters because, right, like we're going to have to keep driving more stuff to the top of funnel, like you said, and that's where you have to have that content pushed out there. And so we have to work. We didn't usually work that closely with them before, but now we got to work closely with the content team. So because we've got editorials and blog posts and all that stuff, and then what can we do to drive more eyeballs there, which in turn will get more brands, like you said, So I think it'll be really interesting to see how that goes. I was actually just talking in a TikTok group the other day, this week, and I was telling them, like, guys, like, keep up with your organic, because having, just keep continuing to grow your platform is so key here. Because there'll be a lot of people who have just been only focused on paid. It's going to get a lot harder, and they're going to be starting from zero. So I
Yeah,
think
that's so
if
true.
keep working on everything, right? Organic, everything. And then you'll be ahead of everybody else. So,
Yeah, it is. It's amazing how many people neglect. Like they focus so heavily on bottom of funnel, and
mhm,
they wonder why they can't scale.
mhm,
And so you really do. You have to find that balance.
mhm,
But and yeah, your organic is critical, and that's the thing is, like, we'll see conversions come in, and that's why this particular client I was referencing earlier. The thing that's great with working with them is that they do understand this,
mhm.
and they'll say, okay, well, let's look at organic sales. How much, where was a bump in our organic sales? What did we see happening?
Yep.
Because you will see the organic sales come in. You'll see more,
Mhm,
more and more happening. But
mhm.
but from a tracking standpoint, tracking is going to continue to change. Attribution is going to change, and these things are just all so important to making it work.
Yeah. I think
That
that
blended CPA.
you just at some point, you're just gonna have to get used to just not seeing every single little thing. I remember Justin Brooks sharing that he came to that realization as well. Before any of this happened, he was like, why are we looking at this, and this? I just need to know these numbers here, and we're fine with that. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
So I think some of us just have to get used to that and just move on with life, right?
that's
Just
right.
how do you pivot within that? So yeah.
That's right. And that's what, like, we're doing with this one particular client that you and I are working on.
Mhm.
Um, we're looking at the total media spend, and we just launched this new camp. We're just launched with this new client, and you and I we're looking at the numbers. We'll be able to say, okay, look, LinkedIn ads and Facebook ads are doing this, native ads and programmatic display are doing this, and we're going to balance it. And so maybe the LinkedIn ads, do really well, or maybe the native, we start seeing on native, hey, we're getting a lot more conversions here,
Mhm.
and then we can just tweak the different channels
Mhm.
to be able to get to where, reallocate spend.
Yeah.
But we have to be careful too, because we have to reallocate. We don't want to kill the top of the funnels we keep talking about.
Yeah.
So you just it's really a balancing act. It's a
Yeah.
balancing act to get to where we need to be, and it takes time and a lot of data.
Mhm. I imagine you, Jordan, in this control room, and you're just like pulling these little levers here because Jordan's the one who controls all of that from the top end of our team, right? And so that's just what I imagine you with. And you're like, okay, let's see this here. Is it going to change anything? Boom, you're just
Yeah.
flicking little switches there, telling us what to
Moving this
do.
switch. Yeah,
So,
moving this one here. Let's see what happens. And
yeah.
yeah, it's
But
fun. It's a lot
yeah,
of fun.
yeah. But that's what happens. Like, again, we've been saying this forever, when you have multiple teams and multiple agencies, that's why you have to work together. And
Yeah.
sorry, guys, you're just going to have to keep doing that. I know sometimes it's not fun, but that's how it sounds basic, but that's really how we're getting much more success, right?
It is. It
And I
is.
think that's also why some people are talking to us more, because they're like, that's what I'm hearing anyway from sales conversations and new clients, right? They said, we like your approach because it's just so holistic and you're working together and it's just not fragmented, and they're not getting that in the marketplace as much, which to me, I think is just a shame. But that's the feedback that I'm hearing anyway, about why they like this approach.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, everyone should be doing that, but with multiple agencies, it's too hard. Like they just
Mhm.
don't. They
Mhm.
just don't. They're not. They've, every agency's got their own thing. They're doing their own stuff, and
Yeah.
we
Well,
tried. We tried with ours. Yeah.
even within like one organization, right? A lot of times it's everybody works in silos, and it's like, how do you
Hmm.
get everybody to work under an umbrella, right? Because
That's right.
even the people in charge of different channels don't talk to each other and kind of know what's going on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's so funny. It is such a
crazy.
digital marketing so fragmented. Like there's
Yeah.
such a fragmented approach to when you do when you're doing omni-channel. It's
Mhm.
so true.
So how do you like this
Anyways,
format?
I like this. I think this is a cool
Good.
thing. We can repurpose
Yeah.
this. I saw it. I think I really like this
Yeah.
restream
Okay,
platform.
great. Yeah, we decided just to pop up today. Like, we didn't tell anybody because
Yeah.
I've actually had people message me, ask when our stuff was, and they joined their email list. And I promised I would say, but this was really just something we weren't sure was going to happen. And I think we'll just keep doing it. If you're watching this afterwards, do let us know in the comments if you want us, like, how you want us to keep doing this, if you like it here. And I would love to invite people up as well. We can have up to 10 speakers at one time in here too. So
Yeah. That would be
yeah.
awesome.
So we could have 8 more people, I guess, up here, which would be really cool. I'd love to have that. So
Yeah.
I think
That would be
we'll do that.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should do that next time. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Sweet. All
Great.
right. Well,
Okay.
cool.
So,
This is
and
fun.
by the way, make sure everybody go to Jordan's profile and wish him happy birthday.
Well,
So he's 21 now, so he can drink.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Just turned 21. And oh, thanks, Liana. Well, thanks guys for joining us. This is awesome. We'll
Yeah.
yeah, we'll keep playing. We'll keep doing stuff like this.
Okay, great. All right. Bye, everyone.